Hey guys, welcome back. Mike here at MH Tutorials. Well guys, yesterday I did a quick basic tutorial on how to get started with texturing 2D files and UV mapping. This is a short follow-up on that, so it's going to be fairly basic. And what we're going to do today is we're just going to set up a really simple scene and actually apply some 2D files to it in a more practical sense. In the video of the other day, I was just working with standard polygon shapes. This will be more about how to actually UV map a scene, okay? And the scene's a big word. What we're going to do is we're going to do a kind of a memory board or note board or whatever you want to call that with some notes on it, and we're going to apply some files to that, okay? So this is our board, just a simple cube that I extruded, okay? And we're going to start off by selecting this face here, and we want to apply some cork texture to that, okay? So I got that selected, right click, assign new material, just going to go with the simple Lambert, and I'm going to click on this checkered box here. I want to apply a file, so I'm going to look for file and select that. And then I got the option in my folder here to select which file I want to use. So I'm going to click on my folder, and I got a file called cork and hit open. All right. Now, immediately you get this, but this could be very off once you start that. And I'll show you. If you would, for example, do this, right? This could be very realistic that you get this when you start. You don't want that, right? So how do you fix that? You go to your face, the one that you're texturing, and you go up to create UVs, planar mapping, for example, right? Which is a plane. If it looks off, we're going to go into the texture editor and fix it. But in this case, I want to use automatic mapping. So select the face, create UVs, automatic mapping, because as you can see, it already looks pretty good, right? Now let's see what's going on with our UV. We're going to go up to edit UVs, UV texture editor. We're going to right click, go to UV, drag select the whole area, and then you see you got a few UVs going on here. You got this square shape and you got this one here. So what we're going to do, right click, select shell and hit W, and we're going to move that out of our scene. Okay. Now I want this square and not that shape, so I'm going to drag select this one here, right click, select shell, and now I can just bring that one back into my scene. Now you can see as I move over my 2D file, in my actual scene it's changing, right? So I got that pretty much selected. Now I'm going to hit R and I'm going to scale it out a bit so it's fitting better with my object. So that looks pretty okay. We're going to minimize that. Now for my frame, I want to use a wood structure. So we're just going to simply go to Google, wood texture, go to images, and let's do pine wood. Okay. Now, let's see, what are we going to do here? We're going to find a file that is large enough. So we can do this, for example. Let's see, what's the size? This one's not too bad. We'll take that. And you got this big thing going on here. So, okay, save image as pine wood on my desktop. All right. Now, I'm going to go to my frame here. So object mode, right click face. And I'm going to start off by selecting these 4 top faces here. Okay. Right click, assign new material, Lambert, checkered box, file, select my file, Pinewood. Okay, now let's see what happens. Does this look okay or not, right? Now, I didn't really do anything. I didn't tell the system to, apply the texture in a certain way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select one of these faces, this one here. I'm going to go up to Edit UV, Create UV, Automatic Mapping, and immediately see that it's changing. And you got the vein of the wood changed its direction. Okay, we can go up to Edit UVs, UV Texture Editor. We're gonna right click, go to UV, drag select, and see what we got. Now you see a couple of things going on here. I'll try to zoom in. You see this little shape with the angle here, right? And you got the other one going on. So we're gonna right click, select shell. Sorry, make sure we got that selected. Actually, I got a little bit too much selected. Hang on. Just that. And then I'm going to separate that and just take the frame here that I need. Okay. So right click, select shell. Make sure I got just that one. And now I can move that back up and I can move that in. Okay. And as you can see, the wood is changing. Now, if I want the vein of the wood to go in a different direction, I can hit E and rotate that. Okay. So now when I hit W and move that in, you can see that it looks quite different. So that's how you can manipulate what it's looking like. Now, typically, because this is a piece of wood with a length going this way, it would be more practical to have the vein of the wood going that way as well. So I'm going to leave that one like that. All right. Now, we'll do one more. Right click face, take that one, edit UVs, UV Texture Editor. Right click, UVs. Now, the question is this our UV or not? I'm moving a lot of stuff right now, so we don't want that. So I'm just going to right click, select shell. Just want this guy. Okay, let's see if this is the one that we're looking for. And it is not. It's the one that we already had. So that's the one I was looking for. And where did that guy go? So I can't see it here, so I'm going to select it. Create UVs, automatic mapping. And it's giving me my entire surface, but this looks okay. Edit UVs, UV Texture Editor, right click UVs. And there we go. That's the one that's here, straight up here, okay? It already has a green dot, so it's selected. So just to be sure, select shell. I can now move that, and as you can see, and I'll just move this over a little bit, you can see that that one is now moving as well. And I want to rotate that just like I did with the other one. So we're just going to move that until it's at 90 degrees. And we don't want the same vein on it. So we're going to move that a little bit, right? So we would get something like that. Let's see if we got that thing going on. So we don't want that. Maybe something like so. That's better. Okay. Now you can repeat that for that one, these inside that one, and so forth, and maybe even the back if you want. All right. So that's a very basic interpretation of how you can apply UVs to your object. I'll just do one more. Let's say you want to pin a blueprint to your memory board. Now, obviously, it's not all UV'd yet, but We'll just leave it at that right now. Just going to set that upward to 90 degrees. It's fine. And now we're going to create a quick blueprint to stick to that board. Okay. So we're going to create a simple plane. We are going to add some subdivision to that. Let's do 8 by 8. Fine. We're now going to find a blueprint. Doesn't really matter. This looks pretty cool. We'll take this. Right click, save image as. Blueprint. There we go. We got our object selected. Okay. Right click, assign new material. Lambert. Checkered box. File. Look up our file. Blueprint. There we go. Now, this is a great example. You can see that it's not aligned the way it should, okay? And that's where the UV text editor comes in. So we're going to select this, create UVs, automatic mapping. Let's see what happens there. Still not what we're looking for. And we can actually even try planar mapping. That's even worse. Okay, automatic mapping. We're going to go to edit UVs, UV texture editor, right click UVs, drag select. So that is our plane right there, okay? Now I want to do a couple of things. I'm going to hit E. I'm going to rotate it until it's at 90. I'm going to move it in right there. And I'm going to hit R and I'm going to scale it out. So now it pretty much covers our entire blueprint, as you can see. Now we want this thing to simulate a piece of paper, right? So to do that, we're going to right click, go to edge, double click on that edge, hit W and bring that up just a bit. We'll do the same here, maybe a bit less. Take that one, bring that up even more, bring that one up a little bit. So it's starting to look like a piece of paper here. We are going to go to Edit Mesh, Interactive Split Tool. I'm going to click on these two edges, hit Enter, and we'll do the same here. So hit G and hit Enter. We're going to right click, go to Vertex, select these two, pull them up a little bit. Maybe one a bit more than the other, like that. We're going to right click object mode. We're going to rotate that to 90 degrees. And let's see if it's upside down right now. It looks like it is. We're going to flip it over. Minus 180. We're going to bring it towards our board. So hit R, scale it down quite a bit. Bring it in. We want this to be right there. We're going to rotate it just a little bit to make it more realistic. And then we'll just quickly create a few pins, if you will, so we can just pin it to the board. Give it some height, let's say 5. Just going to model that into one of those pins. Right click vertex. Okay, so we'll take these, bring that in, Bring those out and bring that in. Looks about right. Right-click Object Mode, right-click Assign New Material. In this case, I'm just going to apply a red Lambert. Take that, rotate it to 90, and we're just going to move that in towards our board. Hit F to zoom in, R to scale down quite a bit, and let's get that onto our board here. Still looks a bit large, so scale it down a bit more. And we'll do one there. Hit Control D. And move on over there. Okay. So that is just a simple way of UVing. And I typically like to do a little render shot here. So I'm just going to add a UV to this guy. That face right there. Create UVs. Automatic. Actually, sorry. Right click. Assign new material. Lambert. Checkered box. File. Select my cork file. There. Sorry, not my cork, my wood. Pine wood. There we go. Actually, the direction of the wood vein should be going that way. Is that true? Yes. So, edit UVs, UV texture editor, right-click UVs. That's the one right there. So select shell. Should be able to. I got a little bit too much selected. Try that again. Select shell. Just move that guy. Hit E to rotate. W to bring it down and in. That looks pretty nice. So, I mean, UVs that we're not seeing, I should do the one down here as well, actually, just to be. Okay, so we got that one. Right click, assign new material, Lambert, checkered box, file, folder, Pinewood. Okay. That one actually looks okay. We'll create a quick ground plane here. And the thing is, if you are modeling this and you know it's going to be viewed from various angles, obviously you're going to want to do everything. But in this case, we're just focusing on what we want to be UV'd. Create lights. Where'd he go? Point light. Pull that out. Control D to duplicate that. Hit 7 on our keyboard. We'll do that. Render settings. Mental ray, indirect lighting, global illumination. This is not too important for the scene, but I just typically want to have a render. Okay, here we go. All right. Yeah, so like I said, this is a kind of a follow-up on what we've been doing with the previous video. You can clearly see that this edge over here is not UV'd, but hopefully this tutorial explains to you the process. Again, this is a very basic tutorial. When you get into character modeling, you want to texture that, much more complicated, but hopefully this will get you started, okay? Well, thank you guys for watching and see you guys next time. Bye.